Hello students, this is series of sessions that we will be having offline made available on Moodle. So these sessions would be dedicated for advanced database concepts course, so which is an elective that I am offering. You must have seen the introductory video which was circulated amongst you all. So considering that particular presentation, so we are mainly targeting towards understanding the internals of databases side. Like generally the databases are covered in a theoretical manner, and when I said theoretical, I expected that here that you already did some things related to SQL. You know basic concepts of SQL here. So we are going beyond those concepts now. So we will try to see whenever we fire some set of SQL commands, what happens towards that side, okay, that side of the part. So let us start these sessions by really talking about internals of it. So this first session would be dedicated towards understanding basics of SQL and Postgres server. So as earlier I mentioned, Postgres server, PostgreSQL would be the database system that we would be using for demonstration purpose. So if you go with another databases like structure, maybe the kind of representation can be seen differently. So let us start. Okay, so first of all we need to see like whether in our system we have installed Postgres. So if it is not, we have to install Postgres. So I expect that you should have Postgres 9.3 or 9.4 installed on your machine, okay, and no matter what kind of machine you are using, laptop or desktop. And basically I am targeting with an Ubuntu operating system. So you can have any kind of flavor of Linux operating system. So first of all let us fire this command ps-ejh and grep PostgreSQL. So this will let us know whether the server is running on the system. So you will see over here like there are a few services running. These services you should see as an account. If I really fire the count command, so you should see totally 6 different services running. One of them is going to be parent service, okay, which is a server process, and remaining all are childrens of it. So these childrens, like remaining 5 which one can see over here, would be doing a specific kind of work dedicated for each of them, and all these 5 services which are child processes are managed by a server process called this one. So this would be a PID for all processes which are running. First column should show you PIDs. So you should be able to see now these 5 to 6 kind of services running at that end. So when this is done, so with the assumption that you are using Postgres first time on the laptop after installation, so first thing that we will be doing is we will be going or logging with root user. So now you became root, one can see over here we became root, okay. Now as if we have to work with Postgres server, ultimately we need to know if I have to start Postgres, so what exactly the mechanism that I have to work with. So for that purpose we will be changing password of Postgres. So write Postgres password Postgres. So after you install Postgres server or Postgres software, automatically a user should be created in your system, Linux system, okay, and the name of that user would be Postgres. This Postgres user would be a admin user of database server Postgres, okay. Now we saw like there was a user earlier which is root. This root is super user of your operating system, and Postgres is super user of a database system of your database. In this case, like as in a case we considered PostgreSQL. So give password over here and retype it. So if you type it correctly, it should show you passwords updated successfully. Now next thing that we will be doing is come out of this, okay. Now you write su Postgres so as to log in with Postgres user. Now it will ask you for password. Now what are the password that you gave here, like while we change the password, so that password should be inputted here. So if I write that password, after verification it will let us know yes, done. Now to interact with Postgres like our database system which we are using in this case, we definitely will require some kind of client. There are 2 different kinds, like one can be a text UI or a character UI, or interactive user interface, which would be basically command line interface, and second one would be GUI. So, the GUI would be pgadmin. We would be using pgadmin at later stage. Right now, we will be starting interacting with the database system using PSQL, which is the interactive client. So, let us try to see whether what exactly this PSQL client is. So, PSQL client or PSQL is an interactive terminal which permits you to interact with Postgres, which is a terminal based front end. So, you can go through this whole man page displayed for PSQL interactive terminal. Okay. Now, next thing that we will be writing is, let us try to see whether like what different options are available with me. So, if I see output of PSQL, there were multiple options given, like for example, if I write dash a, there would be something dash capital A, dash C and so on. So, we will first try to use L. Okay. So, let us try to see whether can we get L. Yes, this small l, which will list all databases available in your system. Now, when we install Postgres on our operating system, Linux operating system for a while. So, by default, the way that we saw that after installation Postgres user is created, and when Postgres is completely installed, by default there would be few databases which are created by the Postgres server. So, let us see which are they. So, these are the 3 databases that are automatically created for your system. Okay. So, the names are like Postgres, template 0 and template 1, and each one of them is going to do a specific kind of task. These 3 databases will be used later or every time whenever we try to interact with Postgres server. So, these would be doing a specific kind of task at the same time. So, we would be definitely talking about importance of each of them at the later stage. Now, generally whenever a database course is taught, you might have heard a term called data dictionary. Okay. So, this is kind of data dictionary for you, okay, which is used to store or to keep information about your databases. Now, when I said your databases, I mean by the databases created by the user. So, these all databases are created in this case by the system, the server system. So, owner of these 3 databases would be Postgres. So, whenever I write, if I have to log in with any database, either of these database, so I will write first PSQL. Now, understanding of this is like whenever I write PSQL and I do not specify any option, what it assumes is like the user that you logged in, like for example, here we logged in with server with the username to be Postgres. So, it assumes that your database, your Postgres server has a database named as your username, like for example, Postgres. So, if I write PSQL, then it will show me or it will log in with the Postgres database. Now, one can see here we are using a particular client of PSQL version to be 9.4.26. Fine. Now, if I do this same thing with my regular user, for example, so if I try to write PSQL, so you will notice here that PSQL there is a error shown role. Now, this is my regular user that I am using here called Nitin. So, this role does not exist at the database side. Role means kind of user for your system. Now, though this Nitin we have seen over here is a Linux user operating system name, and the name or role that it is talking here is a user for your database system. So, if I try to go back again to Postgres, now you type in PSQL. Now, we want a user or a role created for our database, like for example, this I want this Nitin to be created. So, how exactly I am going to do that? Now, we will see there are 2 options which can be seen over here. So, those 2 options would be like this. For example, if you really wish to create a user, so you can write create user command, but for example, the commands that are learned by us earlier maybe are the basic commands that we used with SQL. So, all commands might be only those commands which are to be known or should be understood by every database user, but there are few commands which are to be only specifically known by a database administrator. So, while we are working with this particular course, you would be acting as a user as well as a database administrator. So, let us try to see first what are the different options or commands that are available for us to interact while using this interactive server. or interactive terminal. So, write slash question mark. So, you should be able to see now different options this particular interactive terminal permits you to make use of. So, this is very big list rather. So, most of the things that most of these options would be using at later stage. So, let us first use slash h. Now, if you see, if you write slash or slash h, it will show you multiple available commands with SQL. Okay, these are the kind of commands that should be known or used by everybody. Now, if you carefully see this list, we have used very few of them, we have not used all of them. Okay. Even in this course, we are not going to use all of them, we are going to use majority of these rather. Okay. At least I can say 70% of these commands would be used by us. So, probably if I have another more advanced elective for this course, probably in next semester, that would be software comprehension. In that particular course, we would try to address all of these remaining commands. Okay. So, let us try to see first help of this command, create user. So, as I mentioned earlier, we have two options to create users. So, one option I am now showing using an SQL command. So, this command permits you to create a user. So, create user, and in databases it is known as role. Okay. So, define a new database role. Now, options would be like syntax would be. Now, if you see, this syntax is specifically written in some form. This form is called as extended Backus NOR form. Most of the programming languages rather, or most of these forms are picked from, or compilers or translators do make use of this representation to represent the syntax. Okay. So, we are interested now creating a user. So, write create user. Now, let us write Nitin. Now, we want this user to act as a super user. Now, you may say like we have Postgres user available already, why we want this another user? Let me tell you over here. This is the only class now for a while in this first set of sessions we would be using Postgres. Now, further until and unless I tell you, or until and unless I communicate you, we will not use Postgres, fine. So, for that purpose we have to use, or we have to create this user with super user permission. So, you write this as create user, your username with super user. Now, when I said, when I gave username to me Nitin, I expect that whatever the Linux user that you are using on your system. So, if your username is for example 123, then your database username would be 123 only. So, in this case when I gave 123 as an example, I mean by a text representation there as by following rules of identifier. So, create user, your username which is same as what your default username that we are using while interacting with Linux operating system, and you write with super user. So, when you create this, you should be able to see now the user is created. Now, one important thing that we need to understand, if this command, the command that you typed over here does not contain any error, then it should show you the same command over here. Okay. Now, if there is an error, like for example, if I write this, then you will see an error. So, whenever error is, it will show you error, and if error is not there, that means it will try to show you the same command that you used over there, fine. So, now I need to see, though like I specifically said fire this command create user and then Nitin with super user permission, we saw that this user was created, but is it really created? So, for that purpose we have to write /du. So, write /du. Now, you should be able to see this. For example, now these are the two roles that are created. You have create user Nitin, which is a super user, now which will have all permissions. Now, you may say like we want these two permissions also to be added with the super user, okay, with this Nitin whichever is created. So, one can do that. So, for that purpose we have to make use of an alter command, alter user command. So, see the syntax, it is somewhat similar, only you have to specifically use alter user command. So, let us write alter user, then you say Nitin, and with, then you say create role. Okay. Let us complete this. Now, if I see again output of this /du, now output is changed. So, let us write again alter user, let us use that with create db. Okay. Let me press enter. Now, if I see output of /du again, Now you will see like we want these all things to be added. So you may look over here that, so we tried creating a replica, only the name is different. Now when I said replica, I don't expect or I don't mean by this that Nitin and Postgres will not have same kind of options available. This Postgres would be acting as a root user, okay, or admin user. This Nitin would be acting as a super user, but it will not have all privileges the way that Postgres might be having. Fine. So let us try to, if I have to delete this, so you will write drop user Nitin. If you write /du now, that user is changed. Now this is one way that you can create your user. Now let me show you another way. Now the way the mechanism that we saw earlier, that mechanism was through by making use of SQL interactive terminal. Now if I don't know exactly how to make use of it, I can use some other alternative. Now this alternative is available with Postgres. So you have to write this. Now you write create. Now you will see options available. So three options are important for us. So you write create user Nitin. Now if I want to see, like I want to add those options as well, okay, like super user and then create DB and so on. So let us write man create user. So you should be able to see now connection options. So if you write /d, it will have create DB permission, okay. If you don't want that user to permit creation of databases, so you can write capital D. So we have to make use of /d, then we have to permit user to create databases, which already we saw, okay. So create role, we want create role and create DB, and we want it to be super user. So let us try use this create user Nitin, okay. Now you write /d /r and /s, okay. Now let us go back again in PSQL and let us write /du. Now you should be seeing now same kind of output which we saw in earlier case, fine. So this is how you are going to start with. So now we have created a user. So let us go back, let us come out of this Postgres, okay. We will come out of this user as well. Now we are back to our regular username. Now if I write here PSQL, now see the error. Earlier when we tried doing firing this PSQL command using this user, which was our regular user of Linux, it was giving us role Nitin does not exist. Now error is changed, okay. Now it is saying database Nitin does not exist. Now if you recall, while we created a user as Nitin, we permitted this user to create databases. So if I fire now create DB Nitin command, like through this script which is available, so it will take some amount of time depending upon the configuration of your machine, like processor as well as RAM and so on, or storage. So it is created. Now if I write PSQL, now you will wonder here, like what happened was though I haven't given any username here, it logged automatically to the database, or it got connected to this database automatically. It is because PSQL assumes that whenever you fire PSQL, if you don't mention any database name over here, then it will take database name as this. If it does not exist, then it will give you this error, and if it exists after you created this database, then you are going to log in directly with, or you can directly start with using that database system. Now what if I don't want to make use of this user, so with this database, so you will write create DB. Now let us create Nitin1 for example, okay. So what it said, sorry, I made a mistake, create DB Nitin 1. Now if I write PSQL, now it logged in with what? By default Nitin. Now we want it to log in with or use the database Nitin1. So in that case you will write PSQL Nitin1. Now you will see the difference, like for example if I come out of this and if I write this, what is the difference over here? Here we are using a database called Nitin1 and here we are using a database called Nitin, fine. So this is how you are going to create a database and you are going to create a user. So this is our first session. In next session we will talk more details about other commands available in PSQL client. Thank you.